You probably know that all information taken from outside research sources for use in papers and projects must be cited. But what are the steps of that process? How can we incorporate outside information in a way that both supports our arguments and gives sufficient credit to the original author? This is what in-text citations are for. In-text citations are also called parenthetical and narrative citations by the APA. For parenthetical citations, the author, date, and page number appear in parentheses. For narrative citations, the author and date are incorporated into the sentence with the page number or other location information in parentheses after the cited material. These are used to credit others in the text of your paper. In-text citations include the author's last name, the source's publication date, and the page number of the cited information. If there are no page numbers on the original source, provide a paragraph number or some other way of locating the specific information you're citing within the source. A proper in-text citation will look something like this. As you can see, the first example is from a book that includes page numbers, while the second example is from a web article that does not. An in-text citation is different from a references entry. The in-text citation is short and appears in the body of your paper, and the references entry is longer and appears on the references page at the end of the paper. The in-text citation is short and contains only the necessary information to link to the full references entry. The references entry is longer and contains the author's name, publishing company, and other identifying information. It appears on a separate page at the end of the paper. In-text citations and reference entries come in pairs. If outside information is included in your paper, an in-text citation will point the reader to the full entry on the references page. Usually, this is done by using the author's last name as the first element in both the in-text citation and the references entry. If the author's last name is not given in the references entry, however, use the first piece of data in the references entry in the parenthetical citation. For example, a citation for a web article that does not give the author's name starts with the title of the article, so the in-text citation will use the article's title. Here you can see the difference between an in-text citation and a references entry. Supporting information from outside sources can be brought into your paper in one of two ways. You can directly quote from another author by using their exact words, or you can paraphrase by putting the information in your own words. Either way, proper credit must be given. Direct quotes are easy to use because they use the author's exact words. When incorporating a direct quote into your writing, always surround the quote with quotation marks to indicate which parts of the sentence come from an outside source. Direct quotes can use either a parenthetical or narrative citation style. A paraphrase is when you rephrase the information from the outside source in your own words. This is a good strategy for when you want to condense a long excerpt into its most important points. The page or paragraph number is not required when citing paraphrase material, but you may include one in addition to the author and year when it would help interested readers locate the relevant passage within a long or complex work. For example, we might paraphrase the earlier quote like this. Many students think that if they change the wording of the information, a citation is not needed. But as you can see, the in-text citation for a paraphrase works the same way as for a direct quote, coming at the end of the sentence that contains the paraphrased information. Another way to provide credit in the body of your paper is by using the narrative citation style, also called a signal phrase. A signal phrase is a phrase, clause, or sentence that signals that a quote or paraphrase is coming up. Generally, a signal phrase includes the author's last name or the name of the article or publication. Only the page number, if available, is placed in the in-text citation. As you can see, whether using a direct quote or a paraphrase from a source with page numbers, the signal phrase tells the author's name and the in-text citation contains the page number only. When using signal phrases with sources that have no page numbers, you may include the paragraph number in parentheses after the cited material.